Imagine for a minute that you can become whatever picture you have on your mind. Now, close your eyes and picture what you think a data scientist should look like. You see, that's a very important question to ask. If you are already a data scientist or you are an aspiring data scientist, the picture of a data scientist that you have in your mind really forms the decisions you make, what you do, and how you go about doing what you do. In this video, I'll be painting to you what is the right picture to have of a data scientist, and I will do this using 3 C's. At the end of the video, I am also going to share my 1 secret that I do before starting any data project. So make sure you watch to the end. Number 1, the first C is curiosity. You see, curiosity for ideas that drive solution is what I'm trying to describe here. The most important skill of a data analyst or a data scientist is asking the right questions to data. A data scientist must be curious to usually want to know why, and even sometimes want to know why not. You see, it is in the process of asking these questions that we can really unravel the real secrets of growth, of more sales, of profitability, of customer satisfaction, or whatever it is that we are really trying to use data to do. You see, this same factor about curiosity is easily applicable when also building machine learning models. The question on why does my model predict this way, or why does my model not get this right, or why does my model get this right? Asking those kind of questions is the first step towards improving your model accuracy. Of course, on the long run, you will hear a lot of people talk about feature engineering and the likes, but if you don't ask this question out of curiosity first off, you never even get to the point of thinking about what you can do, writing codes to get your model to be better. Now, it is also important to note that curiosity fuels creativity. Oftentimes, you'll find that you will need to be creative to create the kind of solutions that you really want to solve. You will be working in companies solving very specific problems that probably no one in the company or outside has solved before, because your data is just going to be different, the way it comes, the mode it comes. So you would need to be creative to know what kind of solutions are best in this particular scenario. And oftentimes, those creativity would come out of you being curious in the first place. Now, curiosity also drives learning. You must have heard me say time and time again on this channel that the one thing you actually find, which could be a disadvantage or an advantage depending on what school of thought you are, is that the data scientists have to keep learning. And so, because you have to keep learning, it also means that for you to enjoy that process, you also have to stay curious. Really, this is something that sets apart the 1% data scientist from the rest. Now, let's talk about the second point. Another important skill a data scientist needs to learn is communication. Communication is key to persuade, to influence, and to spread ideas and to create change. You see, a key skill of a data scientist will be able to communicate your findings in a simple and effective way. A simple and effective way will mean that you can break down complex ideas in mathematics, statistics, and whatever tool you're using to non-data people. It could be something as simple as using percentages for error measurements, for people to be able to just have a picture of what you're trying to say that is the problem or that your model does. For effective communication, I actually would like to add the word leadership. Leadership in the sense that you can move others and you can create change, meaning you can be in charge of projects. People can trust your result enough and trust your explanations enough to be able to go with you looking at the analysis or the model or whatever it is that you've built. You see, as a data scientist, this is an important skill to learn to be able to drive meaningful change in your organization. And you actually find that when you become an effective communicator, there's a lot of opportunities that open for you and work becomes a lot more fulfilling. Now, takes me to my third point, coding. I mean, this is well talked about a lot. It is very popular, and I sometimes find that this is like the most emphasized skill without the first two not even being emphasized. Of course, I still buy the thought that it is very important. Under coding, I'm simply talking about everything needed to be able to speak to a computer. This could be using Python or R to write computer programs, or as a data scientist or as a data analyst, using SQL to query databases for quick checks, or even sometimes for very detailed analysis that you want to perform. Because, as a data scientist, you will be working with huge amount of data. And of course, you can't count this with your hands or with stones in the wild. You basically have to use a computer to do it. And so, coding becomes a very important skill for you to as well learn. There are a lot of software engineering skills that the data scientist is also expected to master as well. Skills like Git, Bash, and the likes. Also required is the ability to be able to implement your machine learning codes. And of course, if you combine these three skills together, curiosity, communication, and coding, what you have in your hands is a very good picture of what a data scientist should look like. Now, to my one secret that I do before starting any data project, and it is, be sure to clarify. What I'm trying to explain here is, sit down alongside with the stakeholder and really understand what the stakeholder wants. It could be your company, it could be your boss. I found that a lot of data science projects fail because there's no clear communication as to what is the intended target of the data science project when it was started. So sometimes data scientists or data analysts get very excited trying to implement the latest tools or latest algorithms, and for them it is exciting. For me as well, it would be exciting, but it doesn't solve the problem that it was meant to solve in the first place. So oftentimes, before I start data projects, I always try to sit down with my stakeholders to understand what exactly do we want to achieve for this. What would be the definition of success for you? What are you trying to measure? What is important? What is not? And because we would do that at the beginning, before even writing codes or building dashboards or whatever, we find that at the end of the project, our goals are aligned and everyone is happy. So before you start your next data project, be sure to ask, what exactly do we want to achieve? I know a lot of people watch my content wanting to know, what does the life of a data scientist looks like? Well, I shared about that in detail in this video shown on the screen right now. Check it out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.